Hi guys, Brett Fidge here from Now Rooms Liverpool, Liverpool's #1 HMO agency. Today we're talking about HMO licensing, okay? At Now Rooms we get asked questions on a weekly, if not a daily basis about HMO licensing. And the four most common questions we get asked are, number one, how do I know if I need a license? Number two, how much does it cost and how long does it last? Number three, what is the application process? And number four, how do I know if I will get approved a license? Okay, so question one, how do I know if I need a license? It's very simple, okay? If you have 5 or more tenants from 2 or more households, you need a mandatory HMO license, okay? That's it, end of discussion, full stop, okay? There's different licensing schemes around the country, selective licensing and whatnot, landlord licensing, but this is mandatory HMO licensing, okay? 5 or more tenants, 2 or more households, you must have a mandatory HMO license. Okay, number two, how much does it cost and how long does it last? So as you can see here, the costs vary depending on the size of the HMO. These prices are Liverpool City Council specifically, so they may vary from council to council, but for up to 6 bedrooms is £980. 21 bedrooms or more is £1,186, okay? These costs are split into 2 installments, okay? And how long do they last? It's up to 5 years. I'm very pleased to say that at Now Rooms, all of our licenses have been approved for 5 years, straight off the bat. However, quick little disclaimer, with all the Article 4 changes that's happening in Liverpool at the moment, there is some discussion going around, and some people have experienced it, that the initial license applications are not being approved for the full 5 years, okay? So just be aware of that. The renewals will more likely be 5 years, but the initial applications are not necessarily being approved for 5 years. So just be mindful of that. So question number three, what is the process? Okay, so the most typical process is this. You make your application, you pay your first installment. Your local authority then comes out and does their inspection. They're inspecting the property, the landlord, and the agent, making sure each of those 3 elements meet all their various criterias. For the Liverpool City Council's criterias on each of those elements, just click on the link in the description of this video. Okay, so that you've met the criteria and the council's happy, they've approved your application. You pay your second installment and then you get your HMO license in the mail or on an email. That's the first scenario. Second scenario is this. You make your application, pay your first installment, your authority comes out, does their inspection, and they've identified some issues that they're not happy with. Whether that's fire doors, not need upgrading, or they're not working properly, or whatever it might be. Fire alarm systems need upgrading. They give you a schedule of works, and then they give you an expected time frame to complete the works. You then, as the agent or the landlord, go away, you complete all the works, and then either A, the council would then come back and re-inspect, or B, they might just accept photographic evidence that the works have been done, okay? So then it's all signed off, you get your, you pay your second installment, and then you get your license in the post or on an email. That whole process, very clean, cut, simple process, A to Z, is taking roughly about 4 to 12 weeks for us at Now Rooms here in Liverpool. It varies depending on the size of the property and the application itself, how many tenants are there and that sort of thing. But yeah, typically 4 to 12 weeks. So question number 4, how do I know if I'll get approved? It's very simple. It is a checkbox exercise, okay? So as long as you, the landlord, the agent and the property each meet their criteria, you get your license, okay? It's not open to debate. It's just a tick box exercise, yes or no. You meet the criteria or you don't. You get the license or you don't, okay? So that's it, that's the 4 questions. I've got a couple extra notes here for you just to be aware of. Number 1, the license cannot be transferred from one owner to another, okay? So bear that in mind if you're buying or selling an HMO. You cannot transfer a license into a different owner's name. And number 2, the Liverpool City Council, as of fairly recently, have started demanding, not suggesting or advising, they're demanding that the license goes in the name of the most appropriate person. And this is, in their eyes, the person or the director of the company who the tenants are reporting their issues to, and paying their rent to. So for all of our HMOs that we manage, that is obviously me, Now Rooms. An example we have is a landlord of ours has been a landlord for some 30 odd years in Liverpool. He lives in South Liverpool, 2 minutes away from 2 HMOs that we manage for him. And the license has been in his name up until fairly recently. We submitted the application and the council were going to reject the license because it was in his name. They demanded that it be in my name, the most appropriate person, despite the fact that this landlord lives 2 minutes away from the properties, does a lot of the handyman bits and bobs himself, and our office is 25 minutes away. But because the tenants are paying rent to us and reporting the issues to us, the council demanded that it be in our name, okay? So just be mindful of that as well. Right, so that's it. That brings the video to a close. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found it valuable. I hope you got a lot of insight from it. I just want to leave you with one final piece of advice, okay? A little bit of insight about the recent and fairly significant change to the Liverpool HMO market, and that is the Article 4, which came in a couple months ago. And what it means for us as agents or landlords is essentially that the Liverpool City Council's licensing department and planning department are now working together, and they're essentially stipulating in many cases that any HMO licenses, applications that are being submitted are supported by a certificate of lawful development. Now, if you don't know what that is, go and check out our video on Article 4, where we cover Article 4 and Certificate of Lawful Developments. It's a great overview. You'll find that very useful. So go check that out. But yeah, any applications at the moment need to be supported with this certificate. And if you don't have it, you're very likely going to get your license application rejected. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. If you've got any suggestions of topics that we should cover next, or if there's anything you think we can help with, please do reach out through the contact details at the description in the video. And yeah, we look forward to working with you soon. Thanks very much.